We're out here day 3 on the slough. So far, all of our patience have been tested out here. We haven't been able to catch much. So far we've caught ourselves a couple of bait fish, and we're going to actually try something a little bit different today. Got out here a little bit earlier and casting our nets. It's about an hour earlier, and you can actually tell by looking at the slough how much deeper the water is. So we've cast out a few times, and we've yielded a couple fish, and we've realized that you can actually see these little school fish coming. The water will have ripples. I'm going to try to show you on the video. I don't know if it'll pick it up, but we're actually casting into these ripples as they pass. If you look out right now, I don't know if you can see them right out there, but those ripples, every time we've cast into that, we've come across fish, and when we've just gone on luck alone, we haven't brought anything up. So we're going to see, yes, we've got some movement out there. Something's going after them, so we're not the only predators out here today. That's what I like to see. It makes for good fishing.
Now we're gonna go look over here, and Trent's gonna give us a fish lesson on the difference between these fish here. Go ahead, Trent.
As you see, this tail is more stream-like and the fish is very thin. This fish is built for speed in the water. Now, when you look at our other bait fish we're using right here with our bunker mullet, is fat and stubby, and his mouth is also located on the bottom right here. So he is a bottom feeder. But this guy is a predator. His mouth is located more towards the front of his mouth. Now watch as the fish kiss. They love each other. Mwah.
Just moments ago, I used the technique of a prayer and a little bit of skill, and there'd be my catch. Got 7 of these little buggers. Look at them. Struggling to survive. And that'll do it for the bait for now.
This is actually a first for us. We've actually brought a crab up in the net. We've actually caught ourselves plenty of bait fish, and he is not too happy to see me right now. As a matter of fact, if he could get those claws on me, you'd know he'd want to take a chunk out. But we're about to depart into the canoe right now. We're making our final preparations, and then we'll see exactly what has to happen to get actually some nice sized fish. We've actually seen them jumping out on the slough today with the water level still high, and we're going to see what we can find out there. Might show some nature shots if we come across anything. So right now we finally made it out into the canoe, and we're paddling along, and as you can see, it's not very long. Getting a little bit of a turn to it. Straightening out. It's not very wide at all. Look, leaving very little room for error. But we're going to see what we can find out here, and hopefully there's some more fish. If we get called out, we've seen a couple of fish breaks, and we're going to cast in not too long from now. There's a little bridge up there. We might start from there and then work our way back and see what happens. So bear with us. We will share results with you. So we've reached a suitable area for casting out, and you see, we've got the line baited up, little fish head here. Have to be a sick fish to actually take this, but we'll see what we've got out here. And we're going to have to be careful as we're out here, because as you can see, we're drifting backwards the whole time. That's going to be the big thing, is we've got a pretty good current taking us, so we'll have to constantly be checking our lines and going and fighting the current, and at the same time keeping an eye on the water level, because the thing about the slough is that it actually is the reverse of the tides in the ocean. So when it's high tide out there, the slough is at low tide, and it's almost impossible to navigate by canoe. Isn't it so pristine out here? Just nature, for the most part, untouched by man. See the bare minimum structure out here that has to get by for navigation, and that's about it. It's just a beautiful little trek down this slough, and we're fighting the currents, but So far we've seen some fish jumps out here, and we've seen some snowy white egret off in the distance. Of course, we're not going to be able to get too close to them. They fly off as soon as we get close. They'll be little buggers, but we'll see what we can do.
Right now, as you navigate through the slough, behind me I have trailing my fish head and my bite, just to see if there are any fish that are going to be takers.
Just yesterday, I was down at the old pub downtown. An old fella, he only had one leg and one eye. Came into the pub telling stories about croctopus out in his slough. I told him he was full of malarkey. Anyway, he looked at me with his one eye and he said, "Then how you explain this?" He pointed at his one leg and he ripped the peg off of it. It started bleeding everywhere. It smelled awful. I said, "Bloody hell, mate." And I walked out. I didn't even pay for my pint. And that what brings us out here today. These here was looking for a croctopus. Like I said, I think the old man was full of it. Guess we'll find out.
And we haven't seen signs of croctopus out here. We have seen some drag marks along the bank from local gators. I know they wouldn't want to meet up with a croctopus if there is such a beast out here. They'd be at a distinct disadvantage. But we've definitely got to watch out. It's not the safest thing out here. Like I said earlier, it's just so narrow for croctopus to ambush us. The gator, excuse me, being in America, the gator would ambush us from out of these reeds, and we wouldn't have little time to react, let alone defend ourselves. So luckily our man Jesse back there is a 12th degree black belt and a certified gator wrestler. Never gone up against a croctopus of any sort, but he figures he can take him anyways. So wish us the best, sing your prayers, and kiss your loved ones at night, because you never know just what you might come against that following day. Just a little bit farther and we're going to cast our nets.
As you can see right there, it's a typical sign, especially down in here in the reeds. Those gator dens. Right there, some drag marks where you can see where the alligators have just crawled straight into the water and won away at the ground, if you look closely. Also, back in here, they make their nests. But I don't think I'm going to be going to try to find one. We've had our lines in the water for quite a bit of time now, and to everyone's surprise, nothing's touched them. I mean, as you can see out here, look carefully, nothing's even nudging them. The bait's still on there for sure, but this is very strange. You'd think coming out here, there'd be something at least. They'd take the bait.
I heard something coming from over there.
He said he heard something from over there, so I guess we'll drift that way and cast the lines and see if anything turns up. As you can see right here, this is a huge drag site. I mean, look how close this is to civilization even. It just shows you how long the crocs have been here and how unintimidated they are by the humans. If you look back even further, you can see the nest. This is probably a good sized crocodile, most likely 8 feet in length, I'd assume, just from the drag marks alone. So, maybe that's what's lurking in these waters that took the hook yesterday. We'll find out though. This might also be the dreaded croctopus's lair.
The old man was right. I should never doubted him. That's gotta be it. That's what we're talking about.
You see, it's roped off, like they're definitely trying to keep people out of that area. You can see the pink and orange markers right in there. So there's definitely something they're trying to keep the people of the house that's there away from. And you can feel bad and say, well, why in the world would a crocodile an alligator build its habitat, its nest this close to civilization? We have to remember they were definitely here first, so they're taking back what's theirs. So we're back in from the slough now. It turns out we didn't have an anchor. Probably should have thought about that, but the current was just a little bit too strong. It actually brought us right back. We got about half a mile out and had lines in the whole time. Nothing really taking though. My sister's told me that there have been fish breaking out here this whole time. So we're actually just going to continue to fish off the dock and maybe try another technique, a new location again tomorrow. So we're about to call it a day now. Kind of disappointing. I've been thinking that our problem was we weren't reaching the right areas. Got out in the canoe and it didn't make a bit of difference. Nothing took at all, so we're actually back on the dock that we started at. And once again, we're pulling up crabs, but this time we're not letting them get away. The tide's high enough and we're going to leave the pot out here and we're going to see what we can do. We've caught a couple right now. We've got them in the crab pot right here. 3 nice sized blokes. Like I said, we're going to leave it in here, and then the little bit of bait that we've had left, we've added to the crab pot, so we're going to see if we can get us anything in here and have a little bit of better luck, and we'll rethink our strategy tomorrow. So, a disappointing day 3, but I can't let it get me down, along with my team.
I'm going to leave you with the last bit of advice. Remember, fish mistake fingers for food.
There you have it.